Right, this is the last part. I can call it part 3, extended version of the video vlog, remembering my brother. I call him Big Brother, and because people would ask then what happened next, what happened thereafter. So when I go to Kenya in 1994 for my studies on the advice of Alex the late, for 3 years, of course I used to be in and out coming to Uganda, but of course because you are now engaged in one thing now, I was studying, so pretty much I was getting disengaged with a lot of activity in Uganda. And upon finishing my studies in 97, when I come back, I think a lot had changed now. A lot had changed. And I think we crossed paths in Capital Pub. Now the conversation is now on another level. We really didn't have time for each other or whatever. Just say, okay, Charlie, come out. And that was it. And when life begins to move at a very fast pace, and you tend to be less of a hands-on person. People will say like probably, whatever happened after that, life had taken another path. But probably on the right path and narrow, and it goes and it narrows. But I was keenly aware of what he was always up to. He had hit it big. You had him on the Dance Force Mania, the programs on the radio. And that's 94, 95, 96, 97, when I come back. So when I come back in 97, 98, now I'm also traversing the whole country now. So there's hardly any time now to look back. I've outgrown myself. At the time, probably somebody would say, hey, Kakati, because you are in a dire straight situation when you are, in school, struggling. However, even what I forget to tell you that the money for my tuition fees, I had paid for myself. I paid my way at A level. Unbeknown to me, my mom was saving up all that money. Imagine 2 consecutive years of school fees. If you all remember the school fees of Makerere High, it was one of the most expensive schools. But I used to pay it my way. So when we get to Kenya, she opens up a bank account for me and gives me all that money. It was a lot of money. So in today's terms, it would say like equivalent to say, omuzadde okutera million 10 kwa account naga sente zizo when you were that age. But by then, I was very familiar with money. Working in Echoes, I used to do the collections. When you came in at the entrance, the doorman, twamitanga doctor, ngabera mu cage, so you pay. The money used to be pushed in a slot. There used to be a slot on the table, which was only opened by the manager or the boss. Ngazigwa mu kibokisi, kati fe twazibalanga okuzijjayo. So being around money, I was very, 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 very much comfortable around money. And even when we were making money, remember I told you that on Sundays now Alex was our DJ. But that gave a rendezvous of things, call it a rendezvous, that even other people would come in Alex used to allow anybody, both, you go upstairs, whatever. And of course, the fun, there was a lot of fun going on, you see that big end because they really relevant at all. And it's really helpful. If you're remembering somebody, you want to remember the good things, you know what I mean? So, 97, 98, I'm in and out of Kampala. And I'm no longer on the scene. Okay, whenever I used to come in, kakati ngandi biggie, you feel like you're larger than life, uli munene, kute milioni 10 milioni 5 whatever, so you are shining. But back then things were a bit subtle. You couldn't just blow up and feel like you're bigger than everybody else. And then I think in 2004, 2002, mazo kujera ndani nemusanga ko mu Silk. Is it Silk? Club Silk. Ngera chali mbya DJ. But I think why he stuck so long, he liked music. He had the passion for music. And it was always humbling to see him behind the booth. This is 1990, 94. 92, I'm seeing in the booth. So 2004, I've come back in Uganda. I'm seeing him still in the booth. These are the kind of conundrums you see. That either people begin to distance themselves away from people, or people begin like, do you get what I mean? Do you get what I mean? Because honestly, me, I wasn't comfortable seeing Alex in the booth. Let me tell you the truth. He had outgrown himself. And that means you leave the door open for other people to come in, the younger generation. You groom people, because now you've become a giant. Personal, this is my own opinion, and it is subject to anybody's understanding. Alex yali ali atuse ku stage ngali worth having his own radio station and enterprising or in any other way, probably, when you're bigger than life, you already have the name. Once cleaning cleaning his records for him, but we won about 14, 15. Club 16, 17 tukuze tugagawade tuvuga motoka tuli mu executive tuzana like Auntie Alex yuli a DJ. You know what I mean? You see what I mean? So nega katinga the distance is growing. Nenga bwakulaba kwa acknowledging, hey gwe. And that was it. You keep your distance, you keep your familiarity to yourself and all that. But had it not been for Alex, I wouldn't have gone to Kenya. Had it not been to Alex, I wouldn't have done my A-levels. Had it not been for Alex, I would have been a haywire. Well, to be honest with you, I was very much accommodated around those. I wouldn't call them vices. You are open to all sorts of temptations. A lot of which I cannot talk about. I cannot really say but I was a lot of debauchery. You know what I mean? So a lot of things like that. So unfortunately, a couple of the DJs passed away. Subsequently like that. We were like a passing through phase. And the last time I set glance or eyes on him must have been when I was in Silk. That's 2004. Kali ngabona olaba omuntu n'omulabanga naye ng'omulaba bulabi. Kiraba, by 2004 nali big. Talking of big, you're shining. Kali, definitely naye ngali kubibye. And kati bino bye ngamba all the time. Until sometimes you have to rekindle your past. If you go into theories, what's called the manifest destiny, the pilgrimage into tugenda, and then tulave tunalabayo. At that age, a lot of mistakes can be made in life. At that age, somebody can guide you nagamba and take this direction. Oba nabera a figure of authority over you, figuring authority. I went to Capital FM okumulaba mu 94. Nemga Alex, I want to join the radio. Naga no toja being. He refused bluntly. He told me. But he could have said, sit here. Come, do this. When I remember, I used to take request line. People would fill in slips and take them to the radio station so that they give you a shout out on during the show, and then that shout out would pass a message through. Oh, we meet at KK Beach. Oh, blah blah blah. We're gonna have a party this weekend. I got to shout out. How? Kakati, if you knew somebody had an event. Whatever DJs, they used to have those mobile discos. You know, you to take them to Alex. Yeah, Alex, that is when one time I went and told him, Alex, can I join the radio? At my A-levels, I had finished my A-levels, senior 6, 1994. In between going to Kenya and blah blah blah, because remember our results come back and they're not the proper results. There's a UNEB fracas. Now my mom uses that as an opportunity to get me out of the way. When I tell Alex that, Alex, Kenya, what do you think? I said, you have to go to Kenya. Again, Kenya. Kenya. Anyway, Musuma even to Nagama, where he came in to Uganda, so he went to Namasagale, blah 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 blah. He had studied in Kenya as well, and he knew Kenya very well. I've seen the posts of people saying I'm like, oh, okay, that is 1994. And that wraps up my memory of Alex. Alex, rest in peace. I will always remember you. I will always think about so many things. Let's listen to this song. Here we go. That's it. This reminds me of Echoes now. These are the kind of music Alex used to play. Soul Train, you go around. You people, I will give you a full story of Echoes. But I had the chance that I could make selection for my songs I wanted. All the girls, the Charles Savayo, I don't know, Charles is around. I'm in touch with him. Jana Alava, I the way cut. Tugenda mu toilet n'ofuna eccupa ya Sprite n'ogifukamu amazzi N'obeera ku dance floor ng'onywa abaana balowooza onywa daso. Man. You know. Anyway, emboozi tebankadde. So, whatever you wanted to know, you have known. So what happens after 1994? I'm not in any way in position to tell you anything else. Because if it is radio, it is DJing, it is anything. But what I can tell you is Alex I remember before he joined radio stations. Ayambala Texas boot, ayambala jeans, shirt ya white. That was his signature. With a cigarette. Rex. Yatumanga nzogula Rex. Wali ebweru. Rex wangu wali. Go and bring my cigarettes. So, things like that. Of course, with this, episode you ngabanywa brandy, Smirnoff. No, brandy, the ice, the lemon. Yes, I'm mixing it ali ku counter with the glass. Now I'm coming both. Now you have a blasting, mixing and I'm like the headphones are here. He's doing this. He's spinning the thing. If you see that picture where he's doing like this, that is him. And I think he's the one who drew it. He drew himself. That is him. That is how he used to be. Probably later on as well, but both were leaning at. He didn't have the dreadlocks. Then. He had plain haircut with the what do you call it? By 10 o'clock, you cut your line in the head. So, and that's it. So rest in peace, my brother, big brother. I have only good memories. Without you, Kegus wouldn't be Kegus, Cool Slider, the name, whatever, everything. At that time, that's a code like a guardian angel. Somebody can be a guardian angel around you, hovering around. I've done the same thing to people. Even I've been there for people. Taba kubagwe Sunday meetings musajja wange. Taba kubagwe Sunday meetings things like that. We all rub off each other. That's life, you know what I mean? The good things we do around each other shape so many things. So that is it. I have another video I'm going to make to send out my respects to Bonnie. Bonnie is a fellow Ugandan here in the UK. He passed away, and a lot of people don't know about him like we know about him. So, and that's it. Anything else is in the video. Whatever I've shared with you is me. It's not anybody writing things. It's not anybody making up things. He was my best friend. He was what? He was this. He was this. He was this. He did. No. This is just very innocent things about life. And shaping. Right. All the best, people.